We did addition, we did subtraction, we've done multiplication. Obviously, today we're going to do division. Now, nothing changes. It's all the same. It's still all the same. So, we're going to solve whole number division equations. Multiplication is the inverse, the opposite. So you're going to have problems that look like this. What does that say? Someone read that to me. Put it in an English sentence. Austin. X divided by 7 equals 5. This right here is a division problem. Okay? I told you the other day, every fraction that you have ever seen, how close can I get? Every fraction you've ever seen is actually a division problem. Okay? So that says x divided by 7. So what? Follow our algebraic rules. What do? What's our first rule? Logan. What's our first rule? What's our first rule? Yeah, figure out what's happening to the letter. What's happening to the letter in this situation? It's being divided by 7. Okay, so we figured it out. Step number 1, we figured out that x is being divided by 7. Step number 2, we got to do the exact opposite of divide by 7. And what is exact opposite of divide by 7? Multiply by 7. Okay, so we'll multiply by 7 on the side. Times 7. Now, those of you, I want to remind you a little bit about multiplying fractions. Okay? When you, and this is not anything that you have to do on your homework, I'm just showing you this to show you why it works, okay? So, you have 7. What is 7 as a fraction? Like the whole number 7. If I wanted to make it a fraction, what would it be? Awesome. 7 over 1. Okay? That is a fraction. 7 over 1. And then if I was multiplying 7 over 1 times x over 7, when we multiply fractions, before we do the multiplication, we are able to check these diagonals and find out if they are divisible, which means can we divide those diagonals by something to reduce it? And we can. We got 7 and 7. We can divide those both by 7. And if we divide this by 7, this becomes 1. And if we divide this by 7, that becomes 1. And then we would multiply. Check this out. We got 1 times x, which is 1x, and 1 times 1, which is 1. So we've got 1 times x, which we know is x, and we got x divided by 1, which is x. So essentially, when we multiply this side of this algebraic expression by the denominator, this goes away, and we're left all alone. X is all by itself. Okay? Now, obviously, that's not something that you have to do for your homework. I don't need you to demonstrate that. I just wanted you to understand that that's why that works. So, we multiply this side by 7. That goes away. We're left with x. Step number 3 says we got to do it to both sides. So, we multiply by 7 here. 5 times 7 is 35. Right there. That's what you need to show on your homework, Logan. Okay? You might want to write one down so that you have an example of what you need to do so that we don't run into the same problem, okay? Now, next one. What's happening to my letter? Serena. It's being divided by 6. What's the exact opposite of divide by 6? So we multiply this side by 6. We multiply this side by 6. This goes away. We're left with p over here. We got 6 times 13, which is, what's 6 times 10? 60. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 13 is 18. Or 6 times 3 is 18. So 60 plus 18 is 78. Right there. These are pretty easy, don't you think? What's x going to equal in here? I know you can do it in your head. 18. But we can't do it in our head, right? We can't just write x equals 18. We have to show our work. So here's how you show your work. Times 2 here, times 2 here. That goes away. We're left with x equals 18. That's all. That's pretty simple, isn't it? So all you got to do. What? Not today. We're also going to have some word problems. Looks like that. At Elk Meadows Park. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? At Elk Meadows Park, an aspen tree is 1/3 the height of a pine tree. And then it gives us an algebraic expression. Well, kind of algebraic expression. It gives us an expression. Right there. Height of the aspen equals height of the pine divided by 3. Then it gives us the constant. The aspen tree is 14 feet tall. Okay, so we plug that in. So we got 14 equals height of pine tree divided by 3. Weird. That looks like a problem that we already know how to do. Multiply this times 3, this times 3. That goes away. We're left with h. Height of the pine tree is 3 times 14. 42 hippopotamuses. 42 what? Feet. Homework. It's page 80. It's actually 86 to 87. 2 to 28 even. And then 32 to 40 even.